My name is Baiju Panchmatia. My title actually is, I'm in the executive committee as well as the awards committee. So with the awards committee, it is mainly about for the national conference where we discuss sorting out the nominations, sorting out the awards, shortlisting and making sure the evening of the awards night goes well. So that's helping with the setting up and making sure we've got enough tables, seating arrangements, etc. With the exec, it's been more around national work and working within the regional area as well as a regional chair, vice chair. So I've been able to support within the local area with different fire and rescue services in our region. So organising development days around inclusion, around diversity, looking at what issues we have locally rather than on a national scale. AFSA, 2008, if I remember correctly, I started with AFSA. Came to on a visit, came to see how it was, and I met Sheila and quite a few of the committee members there, and it basically grew on me. The meeting, well, it was all new, so I met new people. Everybody was from different parts of the UK. We also had different, male, female, different experiences, different age groups, and it's probably the first time I'd met such a diverse meeting and organisation. So for me it was great because we could actually share what our own concerns were, what issues, difficulties which are going on in our local fire and rescue services or local communities as well. Because when I first started, I actually was a community safety advocate, so I was working in the community a lot, closer. So I could relate to everything that we were discussing and going on, and regarding recruitment, regarding issues within the communities, how to engage with them. But I had more understanding that it's actually not just myself struggling or the issues that affect us. It affected a lot of other fire and rescue services. So I could learn from and we were basically looking at learning from each other. And that's the biggest advantage of AFSA. When I first joined the fire and rescue service, it was at the West Midlands Fire Service, and it was in 2007 where I was joining as a community safety advocate. So my role was to bring in and engage with the local communities, because it wasn't something that had been done in the past, and it was a new pilot, and I was from the local area. Luckily I got the role, and there was a massive advantage because I knew a lot of the community leaders or even the communities in the areas. So I knew where to start, how to target, where to approach and build those links up to make it an advantage for West Midlands Fire Service to engage locally, because every part of the West Midlands is diverse and different. So what I'm doing in my local area doesn't always work in another part of the West Midlands, because it could be a different community or language barrier. So really it was about learning from each other, so whatever I was doing I could at least share with my peers and with my colleagues. Being part of AFSA has helped me to learn from other individuals in AFSA and at the conferences, because whatever they had possibly discussed I could then take back to my own brigade and my local area and actually attempt to do this very similar things or adapt to what was taught to me or what I'd learned from AFSA and its members, so the executive or AFSA colleagues. That's obviously influenced how I progressed within in my job, because it helped me to at least gain more knowledge of what I should be doing, how I should be engaging, and also supporting my community engagement from accessing places and people that we'd never accessed before, and even understanding around best practice around that. So I remember speaking to individuals from Hampshire, and they would going onto the local radio and doing interviews in different languages as well. So I did very similar, went to the local community radio station, and they were able to engage in different languages, and I'd be speaking in English and they'd do the translation. So it was again engaging with the community, which we would never have been able to do otherwise. AFSA has helped me in my personal development because it's allowed me to develop my skills within engaging with individuals, allowing me to talk to people and meet people I would never have met in my life before. And that's the beauty of AFSA, I think, because I wouldn't be able to see these people. And because when you come to an AFSA conference or development day, you meet people from different rank, different from the NHS, from MPs, councillors. I would never be able to meet these people in real life, in my normal life, I should say. AFSA brings that to the table. So it's developed my ability to at least have the confidence to speak to individuals, to discuss matters around what's happening in my local area, within the West Midlands, or what's happening within the Fire and Rescue Service as a whole. It could be a topical issue that's going on at the time, and I can obviously add my thoughts to this, any kind of developmental processes which are going on in the future. The one word I would use to describe AFSA would be colourful, because it's got the ability to bring so much to the table, and you've got colour brings also feelings, and AFSA brings out feelings of things that you would never experience in your day-to-day life. So friendship, for instance, you get that here. You get the warmth from individuals. So again, different types of colours come into mind there, and it influences how you feel when you go back as well. So you feel positive, and that's why I chose the word colourful.